I feel like I'm at school or something. Oh! The chair just broke. Hey everyone, so I recently got back from Europe where I did a Contiki, and I thought it would be a cool idea to share some of my helpful tips and tricks on what I learned while I was over there and some things that I wish I knew before I left. So hopefully I can help someone out by making this video, and let's get started. I did the 21-day European Vista Contiki where we went to 9 or 10 different countries, I think. It was a Discovery Plus tour. They have a few different types of tours like high energy, easy pace, Discovery Plus, whatever. And I also stayed in hotels just to kind of cover that. And one of my first tips is, if you have the extra money to spend, definitely book a Contiki that stay in hotels, because I've heard a lot of bad things about hostels, but I have nothing bad to say about the hotels at all. They were pretty decent for what you pay for. This is probably going to be very mismatched, whatever. I'm just going to say them as they come to my head pretty much, so they might be, yeah, all over the place. So where we stayed at in Switzerland and Florence, our PowerPoint adapters didn't fit into the wall socket. So this is the one I bought. It is by the brand Korjo, I think that's how you say it, but it just looks like this, but these adapter bits here didn't actually fit in the wall. They were too thick. So yeah, if you're going to either Florence or Switzerland, try and find a adapter that is a little bit thinner, because they will fit in the wall then. But if you do have a thicker one like this, there is power points on the bus, so you can easily charge all your cameras, phones, whatever needs to be charged on the bus, and that's what I did anyway, because obviously mine didn't fit. A neck pillow like this bad boy here will become your best friend. It is literally, you will use it on the bus, on the plane, in bed, wherever. Like, it will literally be your best friend. And whether you think you're going to sleep on the bus or not, let's be honest, you're gonna fall asleep. It's a very, very long bus ride between countries, and you're gonna fall asleep, whether you like it or not. So this bad boy is gonna come in very handy. I should probably cover this now. It cost me $3,400 for the actual Contiki, like the 21-day European Vista. It cost me $1,800 for return flights, Sydney. So I flew from Sydney to Paris and then from London to Sydney on the way back. So yeah, $1,800 for them flights. And then for little extra bits like Disneyland, Harry Potter World, transfers, all that, that was an extra $500 something on top of that. And then I took $5,100 Australian spending money. So altogether it was about $12,500-ish. Yes, and that sounds like a crazy amount, but think about how much you're going to pack into that whole month, and it is 100% worth it. I actually came home with about $1,000 spending money, so $4,000 for an entire month. That's including me time activities, food, transport, souvenirs, and just like extra spending money for like clothes and stuff like that. It was plenty of money, and in the end I ended up wasting so much money and just kept spending it to get rid of it, and I still came home with heaps. So there you go. Washing your clothes in the shower at hotels is going to save you so much money. Contiki only organise a certain amount of hotels that will wash your clothes for you, but it's very expensive. One hotel we went to, which was in Nice, charged by the kilo, and a hotel in Prague cost €20 for a bucket, which, yeah, is absolutely ridiculous, and there was no way I was going to pay that much for someone to do my washing. So I just washed what I needed in the shower and left them to dry overnight, and it was fine. But that is totally up to you, because some people might actually want their clothes properly washed, and especially when you're wearing a lot of the same things for a whole month, it can get quite disgusting. There is so many me time activities that Contiki offers, and me time activities are the activities that aren't included in the price of the actual Contiki. There's like optional dinners and walking tours and like whitewater rafting, paragliding, all those type of things that you have to pay for extra. Honestly, if you are over there for the experience, do them all. Just like, there might be one or two things that you're like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to do it. Just do it. It'll be totally worth it. One of the things that I was like, there was a mountain bike riding in Austria, and it was 22 kilometers up a mountain. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that because I'm not the biggest bike rider. I did it, and it was like one of the best like experiences of the whole trip. So just do it. At the start of the Contiki, you'll get given a sheet of paper with all the me time activities written on it, and you tick the ones you want to do pretty much, add it up down the bottom, and it can get quite expensive. I think I paid €850 for all of them, but yeah, it's 100% worth it. You just have to do it. One of my biggest tips is to make the most of every opportunity possible. If you get given an opportunity or just something that you would think, oh, do it anyway because you're gonna make memories from it. It's just literally, it's the most amazing experience of your life, and if you miss out on one of those little opportunities, you're probably gonna regret it. And Contiki's slogan is #no regrets, so no regrets, right? As my Contiki wasn't classified as high energy, they only organised like a few nights out in the whole thing. I think there was about 7 maybe, and I'm not a partier at all. I hate going out clubbing, out in town, out to bars. I don't like it, but I felt like over there you have to make the most of what you're given. And as I said before, make the most of every opportunity you were given, because I didn't go out in Paris. Instantly regretted it. #no regrets, right? But I regretted it, but I went out every other night apart from that, and literally some of them were the best nights of my life. Space Disco nightclub in Florence, literally the best night of my life, and I don't like partying or drinking, and it was the best night. One of the things I cannot stress enough is make sure you travel with people you feel 100% comfortable around, or 100% yourself, or stuff like that. I travelled with 2 of my friends, Jess and Holly, and it was hard travelling in a 3, I'll admit that, but just make sure you can travel with the people you're going with, otherwise it can turn a little messy. When we got to London, we did a hop-on, hop-off bus little thing, and it was literally the best. It was our transport all day, and the day we actually bought our ticket, it lasted 48 hours instead of 24, so it ended up being really good, and we used it for 2 days. And yeah, it's so much easier to get around. You have like guided tours actually on the bus, and they tell you what everything is, and it's just really good, and you get like a really good insight into London. Make sure before you go, you keep checking the weather of all the countries you're going to, so you know exactly what to pack, because I tended to pack a lot of summer clothes, and then we got to Paris and it was 0 degrees, and then we got to Switzerland and it was -1 degree, and I definitely hadn't packed enough winter clothes. But then we got to London and it was 25 degrees, so I packed the best of both worlds really, but I wish I packed that little bit more winter clothes. I also packed, I had one big checked in suitcase, and then I had my backpack as my carry-on and also my handbag. But remember, if you're gonna buy a lot of souvenirs or presents for people, or just spend a lot of money in general, make sure you pack a carry-on bag in your suitcase so you can bring that out at the end, put all your souvenirs and everything you bought in there so you can bring it home. I made that mistake of not doing that, and I had to actually buy a bag to bring everything I bought home, which wasn't bad in the end because I got a bag. But yeah, if you don't want to spend that extra money on that bag, then definitely pack one. I honestly didn't worry about a SIM card, so I didn't have data, calls, messaging or anything for a whole month, and it didn't bother me at all. There is free Wi-Fi everywhere, so just hop on Facebook or get like the app Viber or something like that so you can contact people back at home. And if you're worried about like not being able to contact the people you're actually traveling with, just use Facebook, hop on to free Wi-Fi, whatever. It ended up working out fine for us, and we saved ourselves money by not buying a SIM card. On the actual Contiki bus, there is Wi-Fi, but you have to pay for it. We got told by our tour manager to not even worry about buying it because there is free Wi-Fi at every hotel you stay in. I'm not sure about hostels because I didn't do hostels, but every hotel we stayed in, there was Wi-Fi. People may think with Contiki it's very like structured, be here at that time, whatever. It is, but you have so many whole free days to do whatever you want. We had a free day in Paris, Nice, Prague. We had an afternoon in Hofgarten, Austria, Amsterdam, everywhere. You have a whole free day, so that's like a whole free day to do whatever you want. You can do like the touristy attractions, shopping, like whatever you want. You have so much time, so it's actually good. Like I said, on Contiki they're very strict with time, so every morning you get a day sheet and it has a list of times and where you have to be at that time and stuff like that. So it's very structured, but make sure you're there at those times because it can end very bad and you might get left behind if you're late. Generally I woke up at 6 every morning and breakfast was between 7 and 8, so sometimes it was at 7, sometimes it was 8, 7:45, 7:30, whatever. So generally between that time. So they're very early mornings, but they're very late nights. If you go out of a night time, you might not get home till 2 o'clock in the morning, so you're only going to have like 3-4 hours sleep. And the nights that you don't go out, you still might be like socializing with all your new friends or something like that, so you're not going to get to bed until 12 o'clock, so you're still not going to get a lot of sleep. And I think that's generally why people sleep on the bus. One thing I learned and wish I did more was spend less time on my phone and more time socializing. I'm not a very social person, like at all, but I spent a little bit too much time on Facebook. Every chance that I had, like with Wi-Fi and stuff like that, I'd just be on my phone, and now I'm like, I could have just been on my phone in my room when I was going to sleep and socializing with people while I was like in the lobby or whatever. So I kind of regret that, but no biggie. Just remember, socialize while you can, don't be on your phone. I feel like a big question that people might ask is like, how much should I spend a day? I budgeted for €100 a day, like that's how much I took, but I spent probably around 50, and that was transport, food, souvenirs, that kind of stuff. So it ended up being really good. That's probably why I came back with so much money. But if you add the me time activities onto that day budget, it's a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I didn't work it out like that. So yeah, my me time activities were separate to the money that I took per day. The one thing I didn't realise about Europe is that you actually have to pay for toilets everywhere. Even if you go into McDonald's, you have to pay for a toilet. It generally went between 20 cents and €1, but what you do is, it's like one of those things that you have to walk through that go like that, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so you put your coins in the little slot, it'll bring out change if you need it. And then it'll print out one of these slips. This one here is from Belgium, but a lot of places in service stations, they print out these, and then so you go to the toilet, whatever, and then you can use this slip when you buy something, and it will take the amount off your total price, if you know what I mean. So this one cost 50 cents. So then I got 50 cents off whatever I bought in the shop, but I kept this and I did get my 50 cents off just for this video. How I went about money while I was over there, I got a cash passport, which is like a little FPOS card pretty much. So you can load up to 5 different currencies on that, and you do it online or you can download the app or whatever you want. You just convert your Australian dollars into whatever currency you need. So I had euros and pounds on there, and you just use it as a normal FPOS card, like swipe it, put it in, whatever, put your PIN in, and it comes out of the right currency, whatever you need. And that was the easiest way to go. Some people put Australian dollars in there and just transferred whatever amount of money they needed over there, but then conversion rates hit you real bad. And remember, if you are going to transfer it into euros or pounds, always do it with the conversion rate is really good, so you're not losing too much money. And at the end, when you finish with your cash passport, you can cash it out and it goes straight back into the bank account where you took the money from in the first place, but there is a $10 fee. In Europe, when you wanted to get cash out at an ATM, there was no like conversion fees or withdrawal fees or anything like that, so it was really good. And I actually recommend a passport. It was probably the best way to go, and you didn't have to pay for the card either, so it was really good.